just got one of those clips where you could make a spoof of me on that deal, talking about that. I gave a really long-winded opening statement there, but I'll go back and start over. I'd like to start by sending my condolences to the Schnellenberger family. We lost a great coach, and we certainly want to pay our respects to the Schnellenberger family. And he was a great player at the University of Kentucky. An All-American football player, assistant coach, and went on to have great success as a head coach and an NFL coach. So, really had a great career, and want to start with, again, paying the condolences to his family. As far as our football team, I feel like we're continuing to make progress. Felt like as early in the week on Tuesday and Thursday, offense really had some good days. I felt like the defense really responded today. Thursday, we gave up some explosive plays, gave up, some shots down the field, which is great to see offensively, but defensively got some things corrected today and had a much better day. So overall, there's progress. Again, there's some give and take when you're playing against each other. As the head coach, you're looking for just constant improvement across the board fundamentally and getting things better. And I felt like today was a really good day, with the continuing to get better. So I'll open it up for questions at this time.
Okay, Josh Moore, go ahead.
Mark, did you ever, how often did you cross paths with Coach Schnellenberger, and did you have any advice that he imparted at any point, or?
I really didn't. Unfortunately, I really never had the pleasure of spending much time with Coach Schnellenberger, so really hadn't crossed paths with him. Just watched him from afar, and certainly as a younger coach coming up through the profession, seeing the success that he had at many different stops.
John Hale.
Mark, Cleveland Thomas is a guy we've heard some positive things about this spring. It seems like he's had a real up and down career where he's been there and then he's faded to the background a little bit. What does it say about his kind of perseverance, that he's still around making an impact, and what's working for him now that maybe hasn't at times in the past?
I think that's a great point, John. With a lot of times, we have over 100 players. You've heard me talk about it before, and there comes there's points in career, in just about every player's career. There's going to be some ups and some downs, and you have to persevere and push your way through it. And in this day and age, we don't always see that. Of course, I credit the players, and there's a lot of good reasons to need a change of scenery and move on and different things. But it's a great testament to Cleveland. I think he has, I'm sure, been frustrated from time to time. But he's really fought his way through, and right now he's getting a great opportunity and he's making the most of it. And he we always felt like he was a guy that could contribute and help this football team, and he's persevered through it. He's working extremely hard right now, and he's one of our top wide receivers, and we're moving him around, and he's doing some really good things. So it's really good to see for him, and it's a testament to him persevering through, and a lot of young guys can learn from that.
Lonnie?
Mark, I just want to segue a little bit off that Cleveland Thomas thing you just talked about. Coach Cohen obviously talked about him making a strong push this past week and how he's come on, and one of the few receivers, or maybe the only receiver, I think he said, that could play every position on the team as far as the wide receiver position is concerned. And having said that, you at certain points in time, I guess throughout springs, certain people start to rear their head up, so to speak. Is there any other receiver that you may want to talk about that maybe make the push at this point?
It's hard to say just 6 practices in. Really, we'll get in and watch this film again today. I believe Marquand's going to come up and talk with you all in a little bit. I feel like he is definitely a guy that, again, I'm very encouraged by what I've seen from him. He's always had the talent. You're seeing him play at more consistent. You're seeing him step up and be the type of dominant player that he can be. And I just encourage him to continue that and to continue to be consistent and be able to play more plays. You know, I think he's getting in better shape. He's playing at a high level. He can be very disruptive inside. I think, you know, he's one, you know, that may come to mind, you know, and I think overall as a football team, I've talked about it. I think offensively we're making progress. Again, I think today, you know, you didn't see as many explosive plays, and you know, that's a credit to the defense, and the defense kind of, you know, there's some give and take. You know, sometimes in spring you may have one side of the ball stand out more than the other. The coaches go back, have a lot of pride, and the players have a lot of pride, and you know, try to bounce back and have a better day. And I felt like today, you know, defensively did that, and we expect that. We have a lot of vets, you know, on this team. We have good leadership at every level, and you know, so we need to see them respond. But, you know, it's a long-winded conversation there, Lonnie, but, you know, I'm going to hold out with, you know, the individual praise until I see, you know, guys consistently do it, you know, through the course of this spring.
John Wall.
Mark, we don't hear much about special teams during the spring. What is your goal for the spring period with the special teams, and how much did Coach Singleton leaving set you back?
Yeah. Coach Singleton leaving didn't set us back a minute because he really hadn't had time to dive into it. As I've mentioned before, Louis Matsakis coaches our coaches. So our system is in place. We do what we do. Louis coaches the coaches. So, you know, we still have him in the office. So no setback there at all. We have a lot of guys that are heavily involved in special teams. And so the big thing in the spring is just fundamentally getting better. You know, we put in some big picture things, but we want to train all of our players. We have new players. We have guys that maybe didn't play as much, weren't on the travel roster. We try to train as many players as we can to cross over with a lot of different drills in the spring. So it's, again, just like most of it, it's fundamental in the spring, which I know is boring to talk about, but there's no game plan. There's nobody we're going to play here in the next couple of weeks. So we're really fundamentally trying to get better.
Nick.
Carrington Valentine and Andrew Phillips seem to have a lot of momentum at the end of last year. Have you seen that carry over into the spring?
I have. I really have. I feel like those guys got a chance to really do some good things. I love their attitude and work ethic, and they're competitive.
Josh Moore.
Mark, the pro day coming up this week, what are your expectations for that as far as just what it'll look like, how it, you know, I know it's fewer scouts and stuff that can maybe come in, and what, you know, I know we're hearing a lot about Jamin and Kelvin, but what about the other guys, you know, that are going to be participating in that? What are your, like, you know, just what can you maybe say about where they're at in the draft evaluation?
Well, I just saw Quentin. I'm seeing the guys drift in. A lot of the guys break away from here for a minute and go away and train and come back, and just saw Q, you know, out of practice just a little while ago and had a good conversation with him. He looks great. But all the guys, you know, they're, you know, I love them personally. They've done an awful lot for this university. You know, I just wish them nothing but the best. I mean, you know, all of our guys, we try to help, but the NFL is you know, obviously that's a different animal. I mean, they're going to do what they want to do. We're going to help facilitate a great pro day. We're very open here as far as communicating and you know, giving access to the scouts when they're allowed, you know, non-COVID. And so they get a lot of opportunities to see our guys and be around them and make their decision. But I'm just grateful for those guys. We're going to do the very best we can to put them in a position to be successful. But that's, a lot of that is so out of my hands. I mean, the NFL's not going to, you know what I mean? They're going to talk to us and all that, but they're going to make their own decisions. And you know, we just want to give them great access and give them the ability to make the best decision for their organizations. But I'm sure it'll be a good day. A lot of people here. We have a lot of guys that are going to have an opportunity to play at the next level.
John Hale.
Marcus, Nasir Watkins back yet from his injury? And also, are you playing Darian at left or right tackle right now?
Yeah, he's not back from his injury. You know, so he's not back, and Darian's playing left. But yes.
Adam.
Hey, Mark, Adam Luckett here with KSR. I just wanted to ask right quick, this medium kind of position we were hearing about, Is that a move more so because you're all kind of thin at edge, or is that just a thing with these offensives evolving? Passing game we saw in the SEC, all these people throw for these yards these last few years. Is that a move that you're saying, hey, we need to get more speed and coverage ability on the
Yeah,
defense?
a little of both. We're always looking for our best 11, putting our best players on the field and getting the top 11 on the field. That's part of it. But yes, I think the versatility, the speed, the tempo, the spread that you're seeing, across, our league, you've seen it across college football for some time. I think that will help us. Yes, it gives us some more athletic ability on the field and lets Brad become a bit more multiple.
Jeff Drummond.
Hey, Mark, I'm assuming in that part where we had no sound with you, you gave a lengthy comment about the quarterbacks and how things are stacking. Just curious though, from week 1 to week 2, what have you seen from those guys and their growth out there?
Yeah, that's really disappointing for you guys because you didn't hear that, because I talked about the starting quarterback and the whole deal. So Tony screwed you guys. So no, they're getting better, and they are just like the rest of our team. And again, please bear with me with the coach speak, but it's the truth. I mean, we just got to get better. There's a lot thrown at them. It's a new system. As you put more in, there's a tendency to get a bit sloppy, because you got to be able to carry over all the day 1, day 2 install, and then get the new stuff and put it all together, and formations and the way he dresses it up and does things. There are going to be ups and downs. Overall, I see growth, I see improvement, and that's what excites me. And I see the guys really, eating it up, really putting in time, wanting to learn, investing in themselves to get better, and therefore it'll push the program forward.
All right, we got 2 more. We're going to take Dick Gabriel first. Go ahead, Dick.
Yeah, Mark, you were talking about the nose guard earlier, and with regard to your system, and I'm sure it changes from opponent to opponent, but how much of that position involves making tackles, and how much does it involve?
I mean, Marquand just walked in. I'm just going to let him take over it. I mean, the big pretty right here. But no, I think, it's an important position for us, being 3-4 and getting a big guy like Marquand that's explosive right over the center, that close to the ball. And that's what Liam was alluding to the other day. There's times when it could be very disruptive. And, Marquand and Justin and all of our noses, Josiah, I mean, those guys can be hard to handle in a one-on-one situation quite a bit. So it's important. The defensive line position in general has to be very selfless. And, we talk about being very unselfish as a football player. And really that position is probably the most important. They have to do a lot of hard work, a lot of dirty work, and they're right in the middle of it. He lines up 3 inches from the football, and, there's a lot going on in a short space there. And it's a big man's league, and they have to be very unselfish. And a lot of times that doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, Dick. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
that's what you have to have. You got to have guys being dominant up front. That doesn't mean they're always going to show up with a TFL or whatever, but they're cleaning things up and taking on double teams and things of that nature. So it's really important. I've always believed, I mean, I've been a secondary coach my whole career, but it all starts right up front there. Again, these guys, he lines up 3 inches from the ball, and the closer you get to the football, the more technique and the more sound you need to be. And, I feel like there's a lot of growth going on there, and we got to continue to push it at a higher level there.
All right, last question for coaches from Josh Moore. Go ahead, Josh.
Mark, Vito Tisdale, played quite a bit last year for a true freshman, and I would assume he's making you're seeing growth there from year 1 to 2. That growth, though, for a defensive guy, is that harder for a guy on defense that's kind of playing young, and because I could see the athleticism maybe explodes early, and then you're trying to I don't know. I can see it being more difficult. Is that the case?
No, I think, I mean, it's hard for me to say what position is harder to grow. I mean, I think experience matters. Experience helps. Just the comfort level of the calls and, you know, their assignment and alignment, responsibilities, all those things, just helps the older you get, the more reps you have involved, you know, the better you become. And I think, you know, all of our young guys, you know, I think you could see a big jump from year 1 to year 2. I think, you know, what you're alluding to is sometimes you throw guys in as a freshman and their athletic ability takes over and they can make plays and contribute. But there's always some growing pains with that too. You know, any player I've ever seen that's played at a young age, they're going to make some inexperienced mistakes. So experience does matter, reps matter. And I think, you know, most of our guys that play, you know, get better with every opportunity.
All right, Coach Stoops.